Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Super Booby Movie Reviews. Now, if you missed episode 1, that is on Master Chaos's channel. I urge you to go over and look at that after this stream is concluded, of course. But this is basically a series where we look at movies that are of a more titillating variety, as the title would imply. So for this week, I blind picked the 2 movies that we were going to watch. And blind they were because, well, you're really only going to get titillated if you love that hunk of man meat that we all know as Jim Belushi. But without further ado, let us introduce the panel. Aside from myself, of course, I've never met this man before, but I love an alliterative name, and that is Tim Talks Titties.
Hey, my other name most people know is Tim Talks Talkies, but I ended up on one of Bob's streams getting the name because I showed off this statue. So yeah, I'm Tim Talks Titties at the time. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about nipples and boobs and everything tonight.
Well, happy to have you here. I thought that was Neytiri from Avatar, and I was going to ask some questions when you held up that blue thing before.
Yeah, it's some type of witch or something. It's a statue, but
J-horror vibes, like it. And then from episode 1, I met him on episode 1. This is Bob.
Yeah.
How's it going?
What's going on? How are you? Yeah, Tim, that you don't even have a reason why that statue, where it came from, what movie. It's just you just like the titties, so you bought it.
Pretty much.
And let's see. Let's go to the man who loves slipcovers more than any other human being on Earth, and that is Bullet Blake. How's it going, Bullet?
How's it going, guys? Gotta have those slips, man.
I certainly do. And now I've joined her on a previous stream, but it's really great to have a woman's perspective on this type of channel in order to make sure we don't get too objectifying here. So, my killer titties, you changed your name. How's it going?
I had to go with my man Tim, okay? I don't know how in line I'm going to be keeping you guys, honestly.
Well, your name makes me think
Objectify away.
Thinks of Austin Powers with everything there. And then finally, last but not least, the man who brainstormed this entire show, Master Titties for tonight.
Did somebody say objectify? Let's get to it.
So as I
normally I'm the only hunk of man meat on the show, but you know, we got some Jim Belushi junk to talk about, literally.
So as I alluded to, the 2 movies tonight are 2 90s erotic thrillers that I pulled from Tubi. They are Traces of Red with Jim Belushi and Lorraine Bracco, not the names I would think of to cast in one of these. And then Jailbait, also known as Streetwise apparently, starring the star of Soul Man, C. Thomas Howell. So I'm not sure. Which film would you like to discuss first, everyone?
Well, they're both so good. It's hard to, nowhere to go.
I'm good either way.
I'm fine with you.
Alphabetically, what, J? So we'll go with, you want to do Jailbait?
All right, Jailbait. Well, let's go. Well, on my screen it would be clockwise. So, Tim, what were your initial thoughts about Jailbait Streetwise?
Hopefully I'm not coming in as a downer right off the bat if anyone liked it. This movie bored the hell out of me. It lacked the titillating. It lacked the story. It was boring as all hell. I went in, I'm like, see Thomas Howell, I might dig this. About a half hour in, I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm ready to look at my phone. I'm bored as hell. The tits didn't satisfy me. The story didn't satisfy me. It's like it's a 1. It's a 1 out of 5. It was brutal.
Oh yeah, don't blow your load. You have to wait till the second round before you tell us how many.
Oh,
nips
sorry.
Down.
But it's bad. I hated it. Seriously, it's not one I would purchase at all.
You're not purchasing that Jailbait. They're good to know.
Bob, it's creepy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Jailbait, that was the one that I went into and I was like, okay, C. Thomas Howell. I'm a big fan. Hitcher and all that stuff. I was like, I'm going to enjoy this a decent amount. Secret Admirer. So I figured, okay, C. Thomas Howell's in it. And it just looked, based on the cover art, I was like, oh, this looks like it could be decent. I didn't enjoy it. I was really bored. I found myself like sitting on my phone. I just wanted it to be over. Yeah, I am what Tim's saying, and I understand everybody would say that really aged poorly, and it's pretty disgusting and all that stuff. But I didn't hate it as much as some movies I've seen, but I did not like this.
All right. Blake, you've actually seen this film before, I believe. So how did it feel to revisit it?
I mean, it's pretty much the same. I'm a big C. Thomas Howell fan too. Like, I love The Hitcher and I love The Outsiders. But I feel like he is completely miscast. Like, I probably haven't watched this movie in fucking 10 years or so, but he is totally miscast for this role. It didn't work for me. The titties aren't abundant enough in this. No. And I don't know, like it was just it didn't work for me. It didn't work at all, actually. It's definitely one of his bottom tier movies.
What's up, Tony?
Did anyone
Tony,
do
get
the
well
math?
soon.
I was just saying, did anyone do the math on Kyle, her age during the movie? Because she was borderline. If she was 18, she was just barely 18.
Well, she said she was 17. She said
17.
in the movie.
Yeah.
In the movie, she's 17. In real life, she was 18. I did look it up.
Yeah, it was borderline. She what is it? January 27th. The movie came out July. So as long as the movie was filmed and post production was all done in the in between, she was of age. But man, it's borderline.
Tim loved her titties so much that he wanted to make sure she was of age when he looked it up.
Well, the funny thing is that actress also plays the underage girl in Mallrats, who is having sex with Ben Affleck and a bunch of older men as well. So it seems like she got typecast into this role.
Yikes.
And we don't actually see her naked. I'm pretty sure that's a body double in that shower scene, which is another point against this movie.
Well, killer titties. What did you think about the disappointing titties of the
movie? Well,
and
being the only female
listen,
here.
Mel, go slow and detailed. Go ahead, I'm ready.
So, what I liked about the titties, no.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind this one. It was I wouldn't even call it an erotic thriller. It was more like a romantic thriller. So maybe this movie was just for me. I didn't like all of the like background sounds of women being like, objectified, as you said.
Like what? Like what kind of sounds are you talking about?
You know what sounds I'm talking about.
I know.
But I don't know. I thought it was entertaining. I was able to sit and watch the whole thing. There was more titties in this one than there was the other movie. C. Thomas Howell looked good in this one. His voice was really fucking annoying though. Like, I wanted him to have this like really like romantic, manly voice, and he sounded like a screechy mouse. It was really weird. The relationship between him and Kyle was a little awkward, but we all knew where that was going. So just prepare yourself for that. And I don't know. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was more thrilling than anything. So I don't know. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, he tried to avoid her advances at first and probably the second time, but
he did a really good job. Like, he avoided them longer than I thought he was gonna.
Yeah.
But it was like, as soon as she was willing to like give it up to that other rando guy for nothing, he was like, "Oh shit, I better just take it while I can."
Did they? I didn't catch. Did they say his age in the movie? I was taking it somewhere like mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I think in real life he was about 28, 29 at the time. So I assume there's a 10-year age gap, give or take. Well, yeah. MC.
All right. this movie reminded me of a more boring version of a fantastic movie that if you've never seen it, go check it out. It's called Vice Squad. Scream Factory put it out. Awesome movie. And it's sort of in the same kind of ball field as this movie, but that one does it way better. Much more entertaining stuff. Wings Hauser, it's great. Jailbait is not great. It's not entertaining. And I think that's the problem. It's a little too dour. It's a little too depressing. There are things I liked about it. So maybe here in the beginning, I'll say the things I did enjoy. Two things character-wise that really jumped out at me. I was like, wow, what an interesting thing to put in this script. I really like that. And I wonder if it was the actor saying, hey, why did I say this? Number one, the police captain cracked me up because I know people like this. He's the guy's like, here, call my cousin. He knows the guy who can fix your car, or like, oh, hey, I know a guy who can give you a better rate on that. And he was always, kind of giving recommendations to his family members. I love that. Like he was saying, hey, you're fucking up. Don't have sex with a 17-year-old. Go solve the crime, whatever the hell was going on. But then he would just take a quick aside to a random character walking by. Hey, did you get your teeth cleaned? I know a guy. Here, call this number. And those little bits are really interesting to me because that's being on set and working with actors. You want them to have something that makes them feel like they're human beings. Like this isn't just them sitting down, talking, saying the lines. You want to give them little bits that make it feel like real. The realism of the world is what we're trying to capture. So those little bits, I don't think that was in the script. I think that was the actor ad-libbing these little moments. And every time he's on screen, he recommends another family member to somebody else. And I love that. I know so many people that do that just off the cuff. Like, oh, if you need help with your car, I know a guy, my uncle owns a garage. My cousin owns a garage. I love that stuff. Second thing I really liked, for some reason, and I thought it was odd at first, but that's why it jumped out at me. C. Thomas Howell is this super tough cop who owns this abandoned mansion in the middle of the city in this empty lot, in LA at the time. And this movie definitely doesn't make LA look good, which is, it's a little better, but I get it. He owns this abandoned mansion in this lot, and there's buildings everywhere, and people are trying to buy it. And there's this sort of mini subplot of him getting calls. Oh, they want to buy it for $500,000. He goes, oh, I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to sell it. It's the only thing I have. And I like that. It doesn't play into the story, but it's a character thing, and it's such a weird little, that's what a unique little element. It gives the movie flavor. Doesn't make it any better, but it gives the movie flavor, and it gives the character a little something beyond, oh, I've got to save hookers, from whatever the hell's happening. And I still actually don't really know what's happening, except maybe hookers. I guess that's the plot of the movie. But overall, it wasn't as boring as the second movie we'll talk about, and they share a common trait with main characters because I lost respect in both main characters. To me, Tony Goldwyn, which we'll talk about in the next movie, he does something that I was like, oh, okay, I completely lose respect for you right now. And C. Thomas does it in this one when he sleeps with the girl. I feel like he should not have done that. He should not have done that because I feel that betrays who he is, and it in a way, it's like, dude, you're the protector, and now you're not. Now you're just like everybody else. And I think that was a mistake in the movie. But overall, honestly, this does not belong in super booby movies. There were boobies in it, but it's, it's a little too depressing for some titty time. That's my opening remarks. Oh, by the way, don't buy this. The C4 Starburst. Disgusting.
I've had that flavor before, and the Skittles.
Oh
my God.
You made me think of one of the funny, you talking on dialogue. There's that one scene where the bad guy's girlfriend is trying to strip, and he's all mad, and she's like, "You're killing the mood," and she's all serious, and then she starts walking away, and she's like, "And your desk is a mess." I'm like, what the hell? How do you? That's your ending insult. Your desk is a mess. It's like,
I thought that's a good one too. It's interesting because maybe that's a conversation they've had in the past. Hey, maybe you should clean up a little bit or something. I don't know, but
well, Howland made a good point about the guy eating the woman out on the bottom of the stairs, just in public.
That's great.
I thought we were in for
That was
more.
like right in the
titillation.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
thought we were in for more at that point. I'm like, oh damn, all right, this is going on, and like nothing else came close to that throughout the rest of the movie.
Tim was into that. It was his favorite scene.
It was weird how this movie tries to make 90s LA as grimy as 70s New York City, where that thing where she can't escape because they're, having cunnilingus on the stairs, she just ran away from like, a shootout that was happening in the hallway. I'm like, what apartment building? I don't know. My intimation about the LAPD is that they kind of respond overly drastic at stuff like this, but maybe not in 1993 LA. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I love
if I
that
was
she
running away
stays.
from a shootout, I would have just stepped on that chick's face. I would have been like, get out of my way.
Yeah, I would have stepped right over them or jumped over them. I remember. And it was such like a important thing. They had the music playing over that at the time. It was just like, what?
I love that she stays to watch. That's one of my favorite elements. Like should I go to the shootout or should I just sit here and watch this guy eat this girl up? It's my first night in LA. It happens to everybody. That's how I spent my first night. So that happens.
What this movie reminded me of is there was a weird subgenre in the early 90s of what I'll say are about underage girls seducing older men, and the older men are portrayed as the victims. Probably Poison Ivy and The Crush are probably the two biggest examples of those. And it seems like this was trying to cash in on maybe Poison Ivy, because I think The Crush came out the same year as this or later. But it was a
really
very
good.
odd genre that had a very brief blip in the early 90s. But yeah, probably the dumbest part of this movie, I think, is that the older sister of the titular jailbait, she's on the run because the cops want her for setting up this murder that happened, and then the murderers want to take out a witness. But she decides, oh yeah, I'll take this gig singing at this club before this happens. And so she ends up just singing at a bar, and that's eventually how she gets caught, and before she goes to hide in like the underage sex dungeon or wherever this thing is happening. I also thought it was weird that almost like 95% of the villains are all people of color in this movie. I don't know if that was purposeful racism, but that happens in here. And yeah, it's just a very skeevy that a lot of the movie is C. Thomas Howell saying, no, I can't sleep with you. No, I can't sleep with you. And then he's like, I'm going to sleep with you. It's like this movie was saying ACAB before it was a thing. I don't know. But, so it wasn't stupid enough in that regard for me to enjoy it on a so bad it's good level. It was mostly just kind of meandering and weirdly, like, not sleazy in a good way. Oh yeah, there's even that scene where the older sister is trying to go to I think it's the nightclub owner for protection, and then the film just has to cut to her like painfully getting railed behind a wrought iron fence in that one scene, and she looks very uncomfortable about it. I'm like, this didn't need to be here. Why is this scene in here to show she needs protection? It's sort of like that meme of that girl on the couch with like the 7 black men behind her. It's like that version, but meant like not as a joke, as sort of like weird racist skeeviness. I don't know. So the whole movie just kind of rubbed me the wrong way a lot when it wasn't boring me completely. But those are my basic thoughts. Tim, I know you already sort of blew your load as far as how many nipples, but maybe you changed your mind after the discussion. Where did you land on this one?
No,
the dialogue, Tim. The characters.
No, I'm still a 1. One of the worst. If I can watch a bad movie that entertains me, it'll get a higher score than just a boring as hell movie, and this bored me so much. Though I am going to say, when you were talking about Mercy singing, if that was actually the actress's voice, I thought she was great. I actually liked that whole singing part. It was dumb for the story, but I thought she sounded good. I liked.
But was it really? Singing was her passion. Like, if she didn't go after it, she'd never get a chance.
Right as she's in the middle of like,
it's her passion.
Well, by the way, unless I missed it,
her passion is hooking.
That is not her passion. That is what she has to do to make it to her passion.
You gotta love what you do. You know?
This movie's not very sex worker positive. I will say that. So,
and unless I missed it from boredom, what was Mercy's reason for running at the very end past the guy with the gun? Like,
Oh yeah, because she
instead of-
leaves her sister to hide, and then I don't know if was she abandoning her sister or was she just trying to draw
she
them
was
away?
like, I can't take her. I think she came to the realization that she's like, I can't take her with me. So she's like, stay here, meet me at this place. I'm gonna ski, and then she just like took off. She was totally just gonna leave her behind.
No, someone else was seating in this movie, and it's C. Thomas Howell.
Oh yeah, it was brutal though.
So, how many nipples between 0 and 5?
I'll give it 1. It wasn't a 0, but it's a 1.
All right, Bob, where do you land?
On the nips.
For me, yeah, it was pretty boring. I'm gonna give it two nipples.
Okay, well, that's what
So-
the average human has.
Full-
Blake, why are you going?
2 nipples average then?
Well, that's on a standard deviation. Some people have fewer because of mastectomies, and some people might have more because they just tattoo themselves to look like a cow. I don't know.
No, we
Those
should have done
facts.
it out of 6 nipples, just to make it all even.
Like a cat, right? 6
Yep.
nipples.
You're either a cat, you're a human, or you're like some weird alien that only has 1 nipple.
That would be Tim's alien.
2. Just standard.
No, you need 2. Yeah, witch titties. You need 2. You need 2 nipples for witch titties.
That looks like
Absolutely.
the chick out of off the ring.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is that her
Yeah,
after she
kinda.
climbed
Like
out of the
Or the
well?
Grudge or something.
Yeah. Tim's into that. creepy
For me,
bird.
I wanna say probably 2 nipples. It was, it wasn't awful. It just was kind of meh. Like I'll go with 2.
All right, 2. Mike Killer, how many nipples? Not how many titties. How many nipples? Did you
All
They're
titties.
attached to titties. It's not just not loose nipple chips.
Well, you should never have more titties than nipples, okay? I didn't mind this movie. I don't watch a lot of romantic thrillers or thriller romances or whatever you want to call this thing. So I would imagine that everything that happened in this movie is what they're all kind of like. I don't have anything to base it on, except for the other movie. So I base my rating kind of like comparing the movies together. So I'm going to give this one the awkward 3 nipples because I didn't think it was that bad. The only thing that I was kind of like, what the hell, was we spent the entire movie chasing down the sister and she just fucking dies at the end. It's like, they just kill her off and then that was it. Like Kyle wasn't even like, oh, my sister, like, she like didn't even really give a shit. But I did laugh out loud at the very end when like the main, I don't even know what he was, gigolo guy or whatever, he gets shot and he like falls off the boat and he lands in the net. I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. He's like this really, yeah, he's like this really like high class dude and people are scared of him and he has like all these things and all these women and then he dies and he gets caught in this net. I just thought it was hilarious. Sorry. 3 nips. Okay.
So you say you haven't seen a lot of like erotic thrillers and stuff like that. Have you seen some of the more famous ones like Basic Instinct and Fatal Attraction and those kind of ones?
If I have, it's been a really, really long time. So I don't really remember a whole lot of them. I know like Woody Harrelson's in one of them, right? I don't.
That's Indecent Proposal.
Oh, see, I don't even know. So maybe not. I don't know. These were just not my genre of movie. It was either like, horror was my main genre, then comedy. I watched some like romantic comedies, that kind of thing. But like these thriller ones, I don't know.
I just watched Indecent Proposal, and I guess I'm in the minority, but I enjoyed the hell out of that. I loved it.
Well,
With inflation, you probably have to.
Most people like that.
I don't know. I was looking at Letterboxd and everybody was complaining, but I feel like they feel, because he pays for a woman for a night. So I guess just in 2023, people don't like that anymore.
Everybody loves Pretty Woman.
I was just going to say that. I was like, that's exactly what happens in Pretty Woman.
No, but it's different. Indecent proposal. It's a man's wife is he goes up to her, hey, I want to buy your wife for a night. That's the indecent proposal.
I
Part.
still think it's a great movie though. Still to this day, I don't know. I watched it and I was like, fucking great movie.
Yeah, I was under the impression that a lot of people liked that movie. I guess I'll have to check out the Letterboxd reviews.
I'll have to check
to justify 4K.
I'll have to check inflation. What it was $1 million back when that movie came out in like 95-ish or so. So how much would that be now? But I saw that movie in theaters when I was like 10 or 11 years old. Don't ask me why. I think I wanted to see it because of the Sade song. I don't know. But, no, I will say, if you want to see an erotic thriller that borders on being an American giallo, Color of Night. Also, since we all care about Bruce Willis and what's happening with him, you can see his dong in its prime.
Oh, you get to see his weenie in that one. I think I've actually seen that one. I think I own it too.
And I was like,
But,
I
of course you do.
saw that one. Bruce Willis
Yeah.
showed his dick. I had to see it.
I think that was one of the ones I saw when I was like probably too young, because I think it was one of those things where like my mom rented it and she didn't know it was in there, and we're just like watching it because she used to let me watch a bunch of horror movies anyway that I shouldn't watch, and then all of a sudden there's penis everywhere.
I think you see his in Last Man Standing as well. He like gets shot at while he's in bed, and he jumps out of it completely buck-ass naked to return fire.
Well, at least
But
in both
you
movies,
have to slow it down, just like Blake does. Okay, well, let me see that. Oh, there it is.
at least in both movies, he's die soft, not die hard. MC, what did you think of Jailbait?
Almost prefer Die Hard.
Actually, Color of Night may appear on this show because I think it's a really decent movie. It's a really good script. Jane March is amazing.
I looked it up. It's not free to watch anywhere, which
dang it. Well,
who released it? Kino Lorber?
I think it was Kino, yeah.
I think it was Kino.
All right. Full transparency, I have worked with C. Thomas Howell on a movie before. Hey, there you go. Of course you have it. Yeah, it turns out the color of night is dick color.
Crimson red, you know?
It's this colored.
Wiener skin. Anyway, I worked with C. Thomas Howell. His friends call him Tommy. I'm just saying, it's pretty cool. No, he was a good dude. It was at a time in his career when he was doing asylum movies. So and it was I think his first directing gig. He got to do The Day the Earth Stopped, which was a mockbuster of obviously The Day the Earth Stood Still when that came out with the Keanu Reeves one. Really nice guy. I have nothing negative to say about him. I think he's a really good dude. He's a professional guy, and it was really cool to my first kind of Hollywood thing to work with him. So I feel a little biased, honestly, when watching any of his movies. I agree he's not a good action hero. He's not a good lead. He's definitely more of a character person. I mean, I think he's great in Outsiders. That's probably his best role. He's completely miscast. I think this whole episode has that issue of miscasting people, and having females that are completely superfluous to what's happening, like the sister. Like we'll find out in the second movie where the character was like, why was she in the movie? Well, we'll talk about that.
Right?
Right? Like, what was happening there? Anyway, I'm probably gonna surprise a lot of you, but I'm going to agree with My Killer Titties. I'm gonna give it 3 nipples. I thought it was okay. For what it was, it tried to be something more. It wasn't action-packed enough. It wasn't sexy enough to be like, damn, this is a really fun movie. This is really good. You got to watch it. But it wasn't terrible. I mean, compared to what we're about to talk about, it is damn near, I'm not going to say masterpiece, but it was a solid movie. And I think if this was coming out on physical media and somebody asked me, should I get it? I would say, watch it on Tubi. But if you like it, then go ahead. But I always say that anyway. But I would say, I think it's definitely worth a watch, and maybe, who knows, if the 4K comes out, if they do a 4K, which I doubt they will, maybe we'll see a little bit more of those boobies in the background. It was kind of a dark print that they had on Tubi, but that's to be expected. Anyway, 3 nipples for me for what the hell is this called? Jailbait. That's it. Yeah.
Or Streetwise.
I'm done. I didn't know it as Streetwise, but Streetwise, we'll call it Streetwise Jailbait.
The copy on
It's very
Tubi,
difficult
it
to
was
look this up,
Streetwise on the opening credits. That's the only reason I know it was. So.
Right. Yeah. All right, David, what do you got?
All right. Well, I'll not bury the lead. 1.5 nipples from me. It was just, when you watch a movie like this, you expect to feel a little dirty, but you also, I guess, want to feel a little sticky after. And there was no sticky on this one. It just was dirty and sleazy and wrong, and it made me crave the moves of Jim Belushi to just sort of to feel safe and warm again, because as bad as the movie we're going to talk about next is, it at least didn't make me feel wrong for watching it. It made me then feel wrong for acting in it. So
wait a minute, hold on. What? Okay, we're gonna have a serious conversation when we talk about this next movie. Okay.
It's always serious here. Anyway, Mel, from 1 to 10, how sticky were you? No, I'm kidding. Moving on.
All right. Well, before we jump into the next movie, we have someone who's going to jump onto the stream with us. If you look up Big Dick Energy in the dictionary, this man's picture is right next to it, and that is Mr. Tony of Coved.
Hey,
oh no, I can't add you because I don't pay for StreamYard.
No, you only get 6 people total. 5.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That was such a good introduction too.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you could keep them in the backyard or the lobby or whatever, but yeah, that's why when you guys were adding people, I was like, does he pay for the StreamYard or is it the standard?
That's good to know.
Yeah, 5 guests. Otherwise, you get up to 9 guests if you pay for it.
Yeah, well, I'll know for next time. But
bummer. Sorry, Tony.
We can always swap you out later if anyone has to drop or whatever, unless you're feeling sick. But
Tone, hang out. You know what? I'll drop out and you can bring Tony in and then have him give his review.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'll. I can't get rid of myself. Get rid of me.
All right, I'll see you in a bit. All right. Tony!
What's up?
Look at my fucking eye.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's how picky I got watching this movie. I'm not going to talk long on it. I kind of said what I wanted to say in the chat. I felt Thomas C. Howell, I don't know. I didn't buy it that he was the cop. I did like what Jose was saying. I did like the lieutenant or his boss. I liked him. She drove me crazy because it's like she kept playing the victim back and forth. Like, I want to strip. Oh, but now he's coming to save me, but then I'm going to run away from him and he's going to save me again. And it's just like, I would have been like, fuck you. I'm done. Run off. But I give him props for saving up until like toward the end, till he actually did something with her.
Saving up. He saved up his juices.
Head in the chamber,
Yeah. But I also too, when I first was watching this, I'm like, where the hell is she from? And then Mallrats. It's like she was destined to play this character, I guess. But not too many boobies, a lot of nice booby silhouettes. I'm sorry if this is echoing or anything. I have no idea.
No, you sound good.
Okay. But like, without going any more detail or anything, I would say I would just give this 1 nipple. I didn't get sticky during or afterwards.
Now that you say that, C. Thomas Howell kind of kicked some ass in this movie, though. Like, he was doing all the kicks and it was like almost pseudo karate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that they don't give C. Thomas Howell a partner, and they specifically say, like, you like to work alone. Like, normally in a movie like this, they always want to work alone, and they're given a partner anyway. But I guess the partner might have talked him out of sleeping with the person he's trying to protect, so you can't have that happening, right? So,
I guess.
oh boy. Well, this is the most anyone has ever talked about this movie. I don't think even C. Thomas Howell has talked about this as much as we have. So, without further ado, let's talk about Traces of Red with the wild cast of Jim Belushi, Lorraine Bracco, and Tony Goldwyn, among others. Traces of Red, I don't know if I even want to describe the plot, or we can just try to have the audience discern what it is from our comments. So, Tim, what did you think of Traces of Red?
So, first I'm going to say, this is what I love so much about movies, because I can already tell my opinion is going to be drastically different than other ones on here, because I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. It's not high art, but I enjoyed it. It felt like a modern film noir. Like, it kind of took me back to the 40s, especially with it starting with narration right off the bat, which I was frustrated that it dropped the narration for like the whole middle section of the movie. But I like the twist followed by a twist. Belushi isn't the sex pot that I would have cast in the role, but
talk about miscasting characters.
Yeah, but I still overall I like Belushi. I have a soft spot for him. The score is Graham Revell, who has done The Crow, From Dusk Till Dawn, Bob Loves the Ruins. He's done The Ruins. He is a great composer, and I loved the score to this. I thought the score was very, very saxy. It was a saxy score. So that got high marks from me. Overall, I was not bored at all, like not remotely. I had a good time with this movie. There's plot lines that are kind of dumb, but in the end, I enjoyed it. And I grew up watching Boy Meets World, so to see a role like that for Alan Matthews, I dug it. I did. I enjoyed my time with it.
All right. Well, it's always good to have a contrarian opinion, or at least one I think will be a contrarian opinion. Let's find out what the rest of the panel thought. Bob, your thoughts?
Yeah, Tim and I were talking about this today because he messaged me and he's like, what did you say? Something about how bad Jailbait was, and like, I hope Traces of Red can't be this bad or something like that. But I didn't mind Traces of Red. Actually, out of the 4 movies we've watched so far, Traces of Red is my favorite, to be honest. Now, that's not to say I loved the movie or anything like that. I thought it was okay. Maybe like slightly above average. I actually was not bored with this one. I was bored with Jailbait. I was telling Tim I would have liked it more if the characters weren't terrible. So, like, Jim Belushi is totally trying to fuck his partner's wife. And, like, right in front of him, too. Like, at the end, too. There's just so many scenes where he's definitely trying to sleep with his partner's wife. And then, obviously, the other guy, he does sleep with, like, he cheats on his wife. I didn't like that part of it. I was like, yeah, I'm not into these characters for that reason, but I liked the twist. I liked, and it kept me invested in it. And honestly, I was intrigued and I was guessing, but it's not to say I thought it was a great film. It's not really a good movie, but it's not boring in my opinion.
All right, fair enough. Blake, what did you think of Traces of Red?
Like the other one, this one was miscast. I don't buy Belushi as this big time ladies man, whatever, Don Juan acting asshole. It just didn't work for me at all. I think this was worse casting than C. Thomas Howell, but I think I liked this movie more than Jailbait. Just, yeah. Not much more. I don't even know if it's a whole nipple more, but I think I would rewatch this one again before I'd
that nipple in half, like a lot of movies.
Yeah, it was okay, and like the narration at the beginning was great, but then it does just disappear.
Yeah,
like it's like gone, and I was like, man, that was one of the best elements of the movie was how it started, and he's like dead at the beginning, and I was like, that's fucking cool. And then they convolute it with that stupid ass ending that they thought was a really clever idea, which I didn't really like. But overall, I think it was better than Jailbait, but not by much.
It's funny you mentioned the narration because I was like, oh, there's Sunset Boulevarding this? Is this movie really going to do Sunset Boulevard? And yeah, they kind of did for a little bit. So
I dug that. It took me right back to like 1940s film noir. Like I'm like, damn, this is kind of like a 90s film noir, but it does just abandon it completely in the middle section of the movie.
Well, that was the weird thing about sort of the erotic thrillers of the 80s and 90s is that they were kind of tried to be neo-noirs to a certain extent, and some of them are better at that. Body Heat with Kathleen Turner is probably a really good one. This one sort of has one foot in that and one foot trying to be like a police procedural, but it's at least it still tries there. All right, Killer Titties, what did you think of this one?
I agree with Bullet. I feel like Jim Belushi's miscast. I don't buy him as like the sex symbol running through all the women guy, especially when he's like starring next to Tony Goldwyn. Why wasn't he like the ladies' man? He is a clear ladies' man. He's like an actually attractive guy, fit all the things. But they gave him a wife and made Jim Belushi like this. No, it makes
they
no
could have
sense.
literally swapped them, and it would have been better casting.
Yes, 100%. They should have swapped those characters. The movie did have me in the beginning a little bit with like what you guys were talking about with the narration. I liked that. The soundtrack was getting me a little bit. I was like, this getting a little saucy music going on. So, because I watched that one first and I was like, man, this one's going to go there. We're going to see some stuff. No, we saw nothing. We saw absolutely nothing. There was like a couple lovemaking scenes. Did we even see a titty in this one? I don't even know if we did or not.
Just when they were dead.
Michelle Joiners.
Well, there's also
I missed the titty then.
When
Lorraine Bracco's body double. Yeah.
When he's sleeping with her, they show her tits briefly for like a half a second or a second, but you see them.
Yeah, so I missed that half a second of titty. I was like, there's no boobs in this one. Like that's a fail.
We got like peeping Tom titties, like looking through the window.
Yes. I didn't like the dialogue or the dialogue delivery. It was very on the nose. The delivery was very much like they were reading. I don't know. It wasn't like hitting home with me. But Lennon Hawk, if you want to talk about leaving a movie feeling dirty and icky, like this one was dirty and icky. It was like a bunch of dudes sleeping around with all these women. One guy cheats on his wife. A mom is like diddling her kid. Like that's what was happening, right? We find out in the end, like, spoiler alert. And then the other son was mad that he wasn't getting diddled or something. Like it was just very weird. The ending of this movie was so fucking weird. I couldn't. The ending had me.
At the end, I was like, she was barely like, who is this woman?
Yeah, she was in it like this much in the middle of the movie, and then you find out that this whole backstory, which is creepy.
Well, having mentioned that you find Tony Goldwyn attractive, what did you think about his 2 seconds of ass in the movie?
I mean, I appreciate the man's body. It's very nice.
What about shirtless Jim Belushi? That do anything for you? Or?
No.
Okay.
I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, so I watch a lot of his movies because he almost always shows his ass.
Yeah, Jim Belushi can't do the splits, or if he can, I don't want to see him do it.
Exactly. Yeah. I imagine there's a lot of hair and all.
Yeah, hairy ass.
All right, so we'll do Tony, and then we'll do a swap for MC after you. But Tony, what did you think of this one?
Well, I think you're looking at it all wrong, because Goldwyn, was that his name?
Yeah.
He is the sexy main guy. They focus everything on Belushi because he's dead in the beginning and all that. And I don't care what anybody says. I put Belushi up there. I don't think he's sexy or anything, but I can see women being attracted to him because I put him up there with like Chevy Chase. They're funny as fuck, and humor can get through to a lot of women. And being that, I mean, it's a movie, I know, but like he's this cop who like knows what to say. Everybody likes him and stuff, you know. So like that's people find that attractive. He might not have the sexiest body, and no, I don't want to see him naked either. But he wasn't really the main focus. I mean, he kind of is, but the other guy's more of the sexy guy. Even though I'll never forgive him for killing Sam Wheat. You know, that's all I see when I see
Facts.
that betrayal in Ghost, where he shows up. Now, be careful. And the guy knew him. Heartbreak. So fuck Tony Goldwyn. But yeah. But,
I mean, that window fucked him already in Ghost, so don't worry about that.
oh yeah.
I've never seen Ghost. Y'all are spoiling that.
What the fuck?
You haven't seen Ghost?
No, I've
Nice.
never seen Ghost.
Patrick Swayze dies at the beginning. Oh, spoiler.
What was I going to say? I never found Lorraine Bracco more attractive in my life than in this movie. I thought she was incredibly sexy, but I think the hottest one was the guy's wife, and it was really strange how Belushi was all over his partner's wife and that, and like, you know, and especially toward the like end part where it's like things are starting to unravel. It's like, what is his other intentions? And it's starting to get a little creepy. Before it was like, okay, it's going a little too far, but it's maybe harmless. That's what they do all the time. But later on, it's like, yeah, he's gonna try to fuck her, and he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, nothing. And then I thought, okay, how it ended, it was like, okay, that's great. You know, he did it and blah, blah, blah. And then they threw in that whole fucking other ending. And I was like, that really threw the movie for me. I was like, they did not need to do that. How did they set that up? Like, you know?
Well, that's the thing. The ending right there, you guys keep saying that Belushi wanted to fuck his wife, but they would have had to been in on it to set the thing up. So his acting with the wife would have been set up prior to that, so he has a reason to go in there and shoot her or shoot him and play dead.
Yeah.
I don't think the wife knows that's going on, though.
Well,
so
maybe not.
You could say that Belushi is not actually trying to fuck her because he's setting it up, or he could just be trying to knock it out before the plan goes on. I don't know how much time they had at that house.
He definitely makes advances earlier in the movie, and she's totally like receptive to it. Regardless. And not only that,
yeah, she literally is like, oh, if this were like only a different time or something like that, she would have totally been on
not
that
only
shit.
that, Tony Goldwyn's cheating on his wife. Like, I was definitely less bored with this one, but there is some sleazy pieces of shit dudes in this one.
What is this even Tony Goldwyn's at his anniversary party talking with Belushi and full on kisses the one girl? Like, full on right in the yard.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, okay, so
he was probably cheating on his wife even before we even saw anything.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that was his first time cheating. I mean, now we're digging deep, but still, I'm just saying these characters weren't saints, like, at all.
They're not role models.
They're all sleaze.
Yeah,
all
see,
of them.
they make C. Thomas Howell look like a prince, right? Because he's not cheating on anybody. He denied
he's fucking a
advances
minor.
for as long as he could.
It's statutory, you know?
And I was like, listen, if an 18-year-old comes on to you and you resist her advances a couple times, then go for it the third time.
But she's 17 in the movie.
All right, you know what? Well, Mel's okay with it, so Mel's
17 will get you 20 in the slammer. Anyways. Well, Tony, I'll let you rest your eye a bit as we bring back MC to see how sticky he gets
Bye, Tony.
from this one.
Okay. I have a very clear memory of renting this. Hey, look, that's a great comment that person wrote. I have very clear memories of renting this in the video store. I was a big Jim Belushi fan. You know, I guess we all were at that time, you know, K9, all that stuff. He was great. He was cool. Real Man. That's a great movie. Anyway, and so I picked it up and like, oh, well, I like Sexy Time. And I can probably get away with renting this because it looks like an action movie. But clearly there's Sexy Time because look at the cover. So I brought it home. I have no memory of it. I remember renting it. I don't remember if I liked it or not. So revisiting it now, I'll address my notes real briefly. My first two words, boring stupid. This is a piece of shit. This is
this
the
a
biggest
Voyage
piece of
episode?
shit. No, but it could 100% be on there, in my opinion. This is the one of the most mediocre, sluggish movies I've seen in a long time. It felt like I was watching a season of television, and this thing is under 2 hours long. But I'm like, where the fuck is this going? What's happening here? Why is this movie so long? It felt so long. It felt like I saw my children grow while I was watching this movie. Like I was at their college graduation. I'm still watching Traces of Red. What's going on? Oh, no. Anyway, loved it. Really great. No, this okay. Here's the problem. And I'm gonna lean on what I pick out the most, and it's the script. Awful script. It's a messy script, and I feel like, and I didn't go and do research on how many people actually wrote this thing, but I'm gonna guess it's more than one. Too many cooks in the kitchen, kind of a thing. We'll talk about I guess we'll get into the ending on the second round, but the main problem with the movie is it doesn't really have a clear plot until maybe about an hour into it, and then when you get to the end, you're like, wait a minute. Then what the fuck was this and this and this? Why was that in the movie? This could have been 20 minutes, you piece of shit. Sorry. It really,
I love it when you get passionate. Hilarious.
It really pisses me off when a movie wastes my time because it doesn't have to. Tim, I agree. The soundtrack was great. It had that, old fashioned, kind of like, sleazy New Orleans-y kind of. I mean, it took place in my hometown and in just right off of Miami there. So it was nice to be back in movie wise. And it had that nice, noirish feel. I love the voiceover. Hey, I'm dead, but let me tell you what happened. Fucking love it. What a great beginning. I love that stuff. And then the movie is boring ass. Two fucking guys talking. What are we gonna do? Let's walk over here. Oh, there's lipstick. Fuck you with the lipstick. The lipstick there's nothing. That's nothing. Oh, I'm getting mysterious letters. Eat my ass. Those letters have nothing to do with anything. Those letters have nothing to do with anything. You are wasting my time. Oh, I wrote the letters. Okay, I'll wait for the second round to get into that. But this movie is broken. The plot is terrible. Completely unnecessary characters. Lorraine Bracco. As soon as she's dead, you realize, wait a minute. Why was she in this movie? She
contributes nothing.
Yeah, she took up an hour of the movie. Oh, I'm a sexy red herring. Oh, I'm gonna sleep with everybody. Ooh, I may be the killer or whatever's going on. No, you die and goodbye, and then the movie's completely different now. And now it's like fucking Inception for serial killers. Dumb, and then really, really dark. The whole thing, like, oh, my mom raped me? Oh, my Lord.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
What the fuck are they? What's going on? Is it the dude who wrote this is fucking high on crack? Oh, man, is it the sexism, bro? Let's just do that, man. This would be awesome. Too much, but not enough. It's awful. Those are my opening remarks.
So needless to say, you won't pay $33 for the DVD of it?
No, I will not. I will not be doing that. I will not, and I will not be suggesting it to anyone. If it ever comes out in any kind of physical media form, I will tell people to stay away. If they need to sleep, fine. Hit yourself on the head. That's better than watching this movie. Tim, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. But this was, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. This is going to be hard to believe. This is the one movie out of all the panels I've ever done that was the hardest movie to get through.
What?
Yeah.
No.
And I'm talking Korean. I'm talking fucking.
You watch, Master Chaos.
That's
Are you
toilet.
kidding me? The
What's
shit
the
you
other
watch.
I know. I was like, and I'm watching this movie. I was like, but Jim Belushi's in it, and I mean, it's well shot. What's happening? This movie felt like I literally was watching paint dry. And I was literally going insane, and so I'm kind of glad to be exercising this out because it hurt real bad, and I'm never gonna forget this experience. I feel like I was diddled by this movie, and maybe I'll become a serial killer. Maybe not. I don't know. I still don't know what the fuck happened at the end of that movie. Anyway, fuck that movie. David, go ahead.
So the writer of this movie is normally a character actor. He's only written a handful of movies, but you'd recognize him if you saw him. He's actually in this movie briefly. I forget. I think he's in the second act, and he's giving Tony Goldwyn some information or something. That's the guy who wrote it. I can't remember his name for the life of me, though. Lorraine Bracco got a Razzie nomination for this movie and another movie the year this came out. Lorraine Bracco, I've never thought is that good of an actress. She has a very stilted way of delivering lines, and sometimes that works. Dr. Melfi on The Sopranos, because she's talking in a psychiatric setting, that sort of works, and it works in Goodfellas as the wife. But here is where she's trying to be a Sharon Stone-type femme fatale. Lorraine Bracco doesn't sell that to me. Like, if you line up, like, a list of, like, the hottest actresses in the early 90s, Lorraine Bracco is probably like at the bottom of that, of the ones that I'd want to sleep with. So nothing against her as a person, but she doesn't sell sex to me. So she's definitely miscast. Jim Belushi, you know, maybe someone thinks he's God's gift to women, but casting him as the Lothario police detective just does not work. I mean, he's great in Twin Peaks Season 3. Some of his comedic work has actually been very good, even though he obviously doesn't get the same accolades as his late brother did. But he cannot pull off this role at all. They either needed to make it more comedic, or they needed to not make him fuck every other woman in the movie, because it's just like... does he have powers of hypnotism that the film just cut out? I don't know how that's happening. But my major issue with this plot is, so spoilers for Traces of Red, this movie from 1992, in case you really wanted to see it. Jim Belushi's brother in the movie is running for state senate. Both him and Jim Belushi were molested by their mother, who is now catatonic. And so the brother has decided to murder a bunch of random women or women associated with his brother. But why now? They were both molested as children.
Were they both molested as children, though? I got the impression that the brother wasn't, and he was, like, upset about that.
It seems
that's why he was killing all the women who was having sex with his brother.
Yeah, I think he protected and lied about the teacher of Belushi.
Upset about not being molested.
That's what I thought. I thought, like, in the end, he was like, why do all the women want to sleep with you? Blah, blah, blah. Why is it always all... That's what he said. He's like, why is it always all about you? So I was like, damn, this motherfucker didn't get molested. And he's, like, mad about it.
The other brother wasn't pretty enough, but there was some...
One of them was molested, Jim Belushi.
Yeah, there were some comments in that where maybe it's just ambiguous, but I read it as that they were both, but that the older brother was able to handle it better or something. Right. But yeah, he's running for office now, so why start killing women now? Why didn't this start in, like, their 20s if they're both, like, mentally messed up? Like, he has no reason to start his murder frame plot now. There's no motivation to that, aside from the movie has to happen in this time period.
That's always a problem with movies like this. Like, why is the killing happening now? Question. And it's one of those things that's hard to answer. Obviously, this is a piece of shit movie, so whatever. But I like when a movie answers why now. Like, oh, it's the 1 year anniversary, you know, or it's been 20 years since my mom had Belushi beef, and now I'm mad, you know, or whatever. But yeah, that is a good question. Sorry to interrupt. Continue.
Yeah, so I do like Tony Goldwyn in it, but I tend to like him in everything. He does more directing than acting these days, but he's playing a terrible character, but he's playing him pretty well, where it's like, you can understand how if you're not the one he's cheating on with, you could see him as a nice guy if you're just like a friend of his. And so it seems like he definitely would have been better in that role. Belushi wouldn't have been good in Goldwyn's role, but Goldwyn would have been good in Belushi's role. But I don't know, maybe Jim Belushi just blackmailed the director, who I think mostly does Hallmark Christmas movies now, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked at his filmography.
Sounds right.
Good Lord.
But those are just my general thoughts. Tim, it's time for the nipple count. It seems like you'll be high on nipples, like you snort some coke off of erect nipples on this one, maybe. Let's find out.
Ooh.
I fucking love movies because right here, you, MC, you're going to be completely opposite than me. And I love that. Like, I watched Jailbait and thought it was a piece of shit. And I enjoyed this Traces of Red. I was entertained. That's all. That's what I asked for. It's a solid 3 out of 5 for me. The score alone gave me one full nipple. That score is fucking banging. It's a really good score.
It is.
I enjoyed my time with it quite a bit. And again, that's why I love movies though. Like, 2 people could watch the same movies and get completely opposite takes on it. So that's cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's honestly, it's the only art form that will happen. I mean, we can all look at a Van Gogh and go, "Oh yeah, that looks really good," you know, or we can read a book and be like, "Oh, that was a good book." But a movie will always hit you different because it's everything. You know, it's writing, it's acting, it's visual. It's I love it. Music. Anyway, sorry. That's good job, Tim. 3.
Bob, I just realized you could have changed your name to Boob and fit along with the scheme, but you haven't. But
damn it, Bob!
Next episode, he'll be Boob.
But tell us how many nipples you'd give it, Boob.
I would give it 2.5 nipples. Didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty average. Honestly, would have given it 3 if the characters weren't so terrible. I thought it was just average, better than the other one, and better than the first 2 from the first week. But I don't know. Like, I feel like sometimes with this kind of stream, you're going into the movies, you're hoping for a bunch of titties and all this different stuff, and you know it's. So we went into it probably like, hey, I need some boobies, right? And my buddy all the time, I'm like, dude, I don't need tits in movies. Like, it's cool. I'm not going to complain if there's tits, but like, I'm not dying to see tits. They don't do anything for me in movies. They're great. I love tits, but I don't have any at my apartment. Like, I don't get to be like, dude, right? So unfortunately for me, I can't just be like tits, you know? So watching the movies, I'm depressed afterwards. I'm like, I got no tits in my life. So anyway, the point is, I need titties. Okay. Right, MC?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes,
that was the most amazing thing.
It's like, I don't know. It's cool if there's tits. It's cool if there's not. So this one, it didn't need tits for me, but it was all right. Average. 2.5. I cut the nipple in half.
If there's any ladies in the audience and would like to donate some boobs to Bob, he DM him, slip in his DMs later. He'll have his socials, and I'm sure he'll appreciate it. I mean, we'd all appreciate boobs in our real life.
I've got some, so I'm good.
Same.
Some of
I'm
us are
covered
very
on boobs.
I mean, being covered with boobs is great. Anyway, Blake, what did you rate this film?
Well, like I said, I like this one more than Jailbait. I didn't think I was going to, and the boob factor is definitely minimal. Like, there's no boobage in this. I still think it was a better movie. And Michelle Joyner is so fucking hot in this movie. She's so fucking hot. But then I'm stuck seeing her dead titties, and I don't want to see her dead titties. Okay, like
you see them alive before she's dead, at least. You see warm
which I appreciated that, but then it was like, oh, now they're dead, and that's
now they're dead.
Going out for the titties.
But
it's not like they were ripped up and like gory, or you know, you still like, hey, might as well give them a squeeze while they're here, you know.
Thanks for the memories.
Oh no!
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember what I gave it on Letterboxd. I don't remember, but I'm gonna say 2.5 nipples for this one, just because Michelle Joyner. I think she's so fucking hot in this movie.
Is she the waitress?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
She was the hottest one. See, Bullet and I agreed last week on the hottest one, and now this week we agree.
Oh yeah,
it was not the red herring at all. Like, the waitress was the most attractive one.
Easily. Sorry, Tony, it's not Goldwyn's wife. It's just not.
Oh,
yeah. So 2.5 for me.
Okay, but no, the waitress was gorgeous.
And it's only her and Lorraine Bracco's body double that you see boobs with. So she brought what this show is about. Not that she knows the show is going to happen, 30 years after the fact.
She knew. She knew.
Well, come on, Mel. What did you think of this one?
Well, first of all, I've never felt so bad for a dude not having titties in his life, so I'm sorry, Bob.
Wow.
I feel bad that you don't have boobs. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I didn't think any of the chicks in this movie were attractive. I thought the chicks in the other movie were way better looking, even the 17-year-old. The chicks in this movie were just not for me, I guess.
Mel likes 17-year-olds confirmed. Go ahead.
Anyway, for me, I just can't get over the end. I agree that it was like they ended it and then they added on this extra weird ending that then threw like the whole movie. Like you had to go back and think about the whole movie and why it makes sense and does it make sense, and I don't know.
It doesn't make sense, but yeah.
Yeah, and it was really disappointing, and I think this is why I'm giving it the score I'm giving it, is because the beginning was so fucking good. Like I agree with Master Chaos, like the opening ending, he's dead, it's a voiceover, and then he's supposed to explain what's happening, and you got that awesome soundtrack that Tim was talking about. I'm giving it 2 nipples because the beginning was good, the soundtrack was good, the rest of it sucked, so 2.
I guess we shouldn't say it sucked because sucking nipples is usually fun. MC, what did you give?
Let's break down the finale because we haven't really done that, and help me if I'm missing anything because I want to make sure we connect the dots here because there's no fucking dots to connect. But we're gonna try our best to make it work. Okay, in the beginning of the movie, he's on some kind of court case with some mafia guy or whatever. And Jim Belushi's getting these mysterious poems. Oh, roses are red, violets are blue. You're fucking fat. I'm gonna kill you, or something like that. Like there's like, I don't know how it goes. Something along those lines. He's getting poems. Ooh, mysterious poems. Who's sending me poems, bro? I'm in danger. Something's gonna happen. Okay, well, the poems. So there's a killer maybe out to get him. First time we meet Lorraine Bracco. This is what happens. They're sitting at dinner. They're all having a conversation. Hey, let's go out drinking. And what the fuck's his name? Jim Belushi goes, no, I gotta go. I've got court in the morning. And then sorry guys, I'll see you later. Lorraine Bracco's like, oh, I'm gonna miss you. And it felt like, oh, it's weird. Maybe she likes him. This is before we know that they're having sex. They're actively in an affair. But the way the scene plays out, it's almost like she's interested in him, but he's not. And so there's an awkwardness there. He goes, oh, I got to go home. And she goes, oh, yeah, I'm going to miss you, whatever. He goes, no, I'm going to go alone, whatever. And then he drives away. He meets the waitress. He goes, hey, let's have sex. What the fuck? What's going on here? You're having active sex with a woman. And then you're like, no, I'm going to go home, but I'm going to pick up a stranger. That's absolute mess right from the beginning. Okay. The poems, I'm going to fast forward. The poems, nothing. There's no poems. It turns out Jim Belushi was writing the poems to himself. What the fuck is that? What are you talking about? Why would you do that? Well, here's what the movie wants us to believe. That Jim Belushi is not really a prostitute killer, but whatever, the waitress killer or whatever. At the end, it turns out he's the killer. Oh my God, he's the killer. I can't believe it. Wait a minute. He can't fucking possibly be the killer. That doesn't make any sense. Why would he get the letters? What was the whole Lorraine Bracco thing? It's complete fucking disaster. Jim Belushi dies with the help of Jim Belushi's brother. And we're like, oh shit, the brother's like, oh yeah, he got abused by my mom. My mom was like, oh, he's super hot. I'm gonna take him to school. And then Tony Goldwyn's like, oh man, I'm sorry that happened to you. It's like, nah, it's cool, bro. But now my brother's dead. It's fine. And I'm like, that's fucking retarded. That's a dumb ending. Sorry, I shouldn't use that word, but it was stupid. Stupid movie. Dumb. Movie fades out. Like, what a fucking dumb ending. Then we get another ending. Oh, wow, it's the brother. Oh, what's the brother up to? Oh, he's going into this, hanging out with this other girl. Oh, he's having an affair. Oh, wow. Well, that's, okay, wait a minute. Something else is happening here. Well, it turns out that the brother is the actual killer, and somehow Tony Goldwyn and Jim Belushi knew that, and they magically had a plan when they had zero connection, zero time to figure this out. The one conversation was like, "Hey, I'm at your brother's house. I think he's the killer." And he goes, "Cool, dude. I'm gonna go to a cabin and kidnap your wife." That's it. They didn't say, "Hey, you know what we should do? Let me fake my death, and then we'll catch him picking up a hooker some other time." Stupid plan, dumb movie, complete ridiculousness. The movie, I swear to God, it feels like it was written by, I don't care if that one guy wrote it. Maybe he took credit for it because nobody else wanted it. But it's like, it was like a game of telephone. Okay, I wrote one scene, your turn. And then some guy would write the other scene without reading what the hell was happening. Oh, let's kill off the Lorraine Bracco character. Fine. I don't know who she is anyway. I'll kill her off. Dumbass mess of a movie. So boring. I hated it. Literally, I enjoyed Death Toilet more. And I'll tell you why. Because I pictured Mel and Blake watching it. It made me happy. This movie didn't have that power. And so it's completely atrocious. But it's not a zero because it's still a well-made movie. It's got a good soundtrack. Obviously, the acting is decent. And I think Lorraine Bracco's hot. I'm in the minority, but I think she's pretty good. I wouldn't kick her out of bed. Yeah, unless I'm married, then I would. Because unlike Tony Goldwyn, I respect the house. And I lost respect for him immediately. I'm like, oh, fuck this guy. This guy's a piece of shit. This guy's just another C. Thomas Howell. Right, guys? You know what I mean. Anyway, one nipple. One fucking nip. This is the one nip person. What did you say? Somebody gets their nipple cut off for what? Cancer?
Wasn't that New York Ripper? Was the nipple slicing movie? I forget.
Yeah. But what do you get on your boob if you have to cut a
mastectomy?
There you go. A mastectomy body. One nipple. I don't know what's going on anymore. This movie sucked.
There's a lot of one nipples going on tonight, Tim, and
a lot of one nips. A lot of one nips.
I'll let MC calm down and drink his C4 as I bring on Tony to give his rating.
Well, holy shit. I 100% doubt he'd rather watch Death Toilet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I doubt that as well. That movie is garbage.
Yeah, like, oh. But I don't know. The one thing where it's like toward the end where he gets shot and everything and it's like, oh, we're going to pretend you're dead. Why did we have to see that? Like, I mean, I guess it's for the audience's benefit, it's for the story. But like, if they knew that, why did they like not include the wife in it and then just say he's dead and then something like that? I don't know. You would not, Master. I don't know. Think about that part.
To see him get shot?
Yeah, it looked like he legitimately got shot.
Like the brother wasn't there, was he?
Yeah, but like, did they really need to do that?
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. They probably didn't need to do that unless they needed to convince the wife that he was dead.
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
Because they had that fake funeral, so that probably would have been enough.
Right. But, I mean, why couldn't she be in on it? Was she just some kind of like chatty Cathy, or they didn't trust her to keep her big mouth shut, or what?
I think Belushi was trying to get his dick wet first before the whole plan got off. I think that's what happened.
I think it'd be pretty hard to convince the brother that he doesn't know whether or not he's dead or not for his funeral. Like, the brother, his one relative, would know without a doubt that he's not in the casket.
Yeah.
Well, not unless it's just a closed casket for some reason. I mean, I don't know. That's a little messy, I think, that whole part. But I guess it's just for our benefit for the story, because then we'd be like, why didn't we see him get shot, But yeah, when I watched this, I didn't really mind it, but that ending, the second ending, I guess, just really like threw me off. I'm just like, that didn't need to be happening. It could have ended the way it did, and that would have been fine. And then that whole extra ending really made me like not really care about for the movie. And I was going to say at the time, I was like, I kind of enjoyed it. I love Jim Belushi. I still mix the brothers up. I still call him James, Jim, John, and Jim. I still mixed them up, but like I always liked him, especially back in the '90s. And I actually think I have this on VHS up in the attic, but I never watched it. Of course, I buy movies, I don't watch them, and
Don't we all?
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know. At first I was like, maybe this is like a 3 nipple thing, but that ending really dropped it down. I would say for me, it's a 2 nipple for me, because I didn't hate it at all, but I wouldn't visit it again. Maybe if Vinegar Syndrome put it out and I'm guaranteed to get it, I'll watch it just to see if they put any special features on, and people could be like, why did this happen this way?
Yeah, they can explain themselves.
Right, yeah.
Explain yourself.
Yeah. But I honestly don't think this is Voyage material at all. I mean, I don't think it's booby material either. But
if we watched this on Voyage, I would have given it 4.5 barrels probably. But...
Really? I would have probably gave it the 3. I don't know. Yeah, it's different, like different categories, because we're kind of rating this on boobs, and I don't need to see boobs, as much as I like to see them, but they're nice. They're nice to see on the screen. It's like I'm sure more women would like. Mel wants to see more ass.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. When I was invited to join a booby stream, I expected to see boobies. So you guys are kind of disappointing me.
You dropped the ball there, Lennon.
The dangers of blind picking just based
I got
on
no boobs.
Elle's pissed about not having boobs in her life.
I mean, a little bit. Like, I felt like you guys were taking it easy on me or something. I can handle some titties.
Well, we can all handle some titties. I think we can say that.
Well, that you guys need to prove that.
I can't. Only on my OnlyFans. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that, I think.
That's a Forrest Gump line. That's all I have to say about that.
Let's say about that.
Yeah, Traces of Red, the erotic thriller that's neither erotic nor thrilling. I was very disappointed because you can have an erotic thriller that doesn't have nudity, but it still needs to be erotic and titillating and have that sort of oomph to it. Even if you like back in the 80s where they just like spritz people down with canola oil to be like the sweat that doesn't evaporate. Even stuff that was great like that. But yeah, this is just terribly miscast all down the road. The plot, as we've broken down, makes very little sense. And this just fails at what it's attempting to do, which is to be a steamy, twisty, neo-noir type erotic thriller. And especially in the early 90s when there were tons of these things, there are so many better ones, even trashy direct-to-video ones. There's still a ton better than this. And maybe some will come up on this show later on down the road. But yeah, I have to give it 1.5 nipples. It didn't leave me as feeling bad as Jailbait Streetwise did, because that was just an icky movie all around and not in the good way. This was just kind of like, it just sort of laid there like a flaccid penis on a coffee table that no one's doing anything with. So 1.5 there.
Why is that? Never mind. Well, what am I gonna do with this?
It's like you just throw it on the charcuterie board and it was like, I didn't ask for that. No.
Oh
my god.
Well, Tony, I'll let you, if you want to pimp or to throw anything that you have first so that we can bring MC back as we do the whole where do you find everybody section. But Tony, aside from trying to beat the virus, what else you got going on?
Nothing. I got my Vinegar Syndrome package in, so as soon as I feel better, I'll be recording that. So other than that, nothing.
All right. Well, thanks for being able to jump on, even while you're under the weather, and we look forward to that video. And stay strong, my big dick brother. You know.
Feel better.
Thanks, everybody.
Tony forgets to mention that he's hosting the next episode of Voyage to the Bottom of the Barrel on his channel, March 1st, and it's gonna go to the dogs. That's all I'm gonna say. It's There's a movie where a lady blows a dog. I'm gonna say that.
Oh.
At least that wasn't on this
Watch it.
show.
Yeah. Coming at you March 1st.
If there's more boobies in that movie than these movies, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I mean, it's a dog. There's going to be.
Damn it, Lennon Hawk.
You can take my place on the next voyage. How about that? I don't want to watch these movies.
Bring that
No.
Sleeping Dogs Lie movie that Bobcat Goldthwait made. It's about.
That's it. That's
oh.
the one.
Oh, it's on there? All right.
That's the one we're doing. Yeah.
That's your
Fun, fun,
punishment, Lennon Hawk. Now you got to watch those and take her place
Oh,
for not having enough boobies for Mel in this movie.
Oh. You know, this is the one time in my life I can ever be accused of not being perverted enough in my choices in life.
You're welcome.
But let's go around. Tim, aside from talking about titties like you're done tonight, what else you got going on in your life?
This is a good time. I have a stream coming up on Saturday at 9 p.m., which is unfortunately is the exact same time that Mel is going to be having a stream too. It just happened to happen like that. There's streams all over. Just people pick who you want and watch the replay and support the other channels. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the main thing I got coming up is at 9 p.m. So either watch me or watch Mel in the Rad Pack. Either one.
Don't cross the
Thanks,
streams.
Tim.
All right, Bob, what you got going on?
Yeah, that is tough. There's and more people are streaming now, so you're bound to overlap, unfortunately. And I know sometimes it's hard to catch the replays of lives because it's a lot more fun when it's live. But yeah, I got a lot of live streams coming up. I just started a new series called Physical Media Collectors Hall of Fame. So I'm going to be doing like an episode with Tim. Hopefully I get Mel on in a couple, month or so. And Dell will be on next as well, like March 1st.
Oh,
Yeah, a lot of streams coming up on my channel. So if you want to subscribe, and I'll be doing a lot of streams.
Excellent. Blake, what you got going on?
Well, I got my Vinegar Syndrome package.
You need a boob name. So let's call you Mr. Slit Cover Bullet Boob. How about that? We'll go with that.
Boob.
no, let's call him Mr.
He's
Slippy
not
Boobs or
laughing right
something.
I don't see him smiling.
Delake, double D,
Mr.
There you
Slippy
go.
Boobs.
He's
No,
trying.
I
Is
think
he
it's
changing
Slit.
his name?
He's changing it now. That's what he's doing.
Gus!
Hey, Gus.
I mean, what is a slip cover but the condom of
Hey,
a
there you
mistake?
go.
Flip.
Oh, Mr. Tit Lover. How do you change your name? I thought you have to leave to do that.
No, you just click on the three dots beside
Edit.
your picture at the bottom and edit.
You yell, change boob! And there you go. and then you do it, and then it happens. See, magic. All right, Bullet Blake. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
I'm screenshotting this. Lennon. Yeah, there we go.
I got my Vinegar Syndrome package, so I'll be trying to get through those, but I haven't even watched a single one out of the box, and I got it like a week ago. So, like 4 or 5 days ago. But when I get those done, I'll put the reviews up for those and a couple other unboxings I think I still need to unbox, but now I've forgotten what's in what box, so I'll get around to those eventually too. But that's pretty much it. We got Voyage coming up. I don't know whose channel it's on.
Tony.
Tony's. You'll see me there.
That's why you forgot to mention it. Jesus Christ.
Mel, aside from your competing stream with Tim, what else you got going on?
Well, Voyage over on Mr. Tony of the Dead channel. I'll announce that too. So we got 3 people announcing it over
Yay.
Tony. Yeah, we got the Rad Pack Saturday night. Today's the last day to get in your video questions. If you want to send the Rad Pack a video question, anything goes at radpackrules@gmail.com. Do it by tonight. And that's it. Other than my regular videos every week.
Alrighty, MC.
It's nice to hear that Mel is staying regular. That's very helpful when you're
It's important.
Yeah, especially on YouTube. Well, I've technically rebranded the channel in a way. You're right. Everybody is streaming now. but everybody's streaming at night. So I'm the one guy doing the morning show. So
Nice.
I want to turn into the Regis Philbin of or Ryan Seacrest of movies and physical media here on YouTube. And so I just finished episode 4 today, and it's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I go about an hour. I don't want to make it too long, so I want to make it digestible, and I cram everything in. Out and about segments where I pre-tape, reviews of box sets and stuff that's come out. I talk about Hollywood movie news, new movies, all that stuff. Friday, I've got a review of Cocaine Bear, so hopefully you'll be able to join me for that, or in the replay. That's fine as well. And then Sunday, I have a new review panel, sort of a rebranding of my full moon one. It's called Guilty Pleasures. And me and my panel over there are going to be talking about movies that not everybody loves, but we have a fondness for. Episode 1, I'm hosting, and it's Demon Wind and Demon Warp. Oh, those movies are wild. Oh, my God. Demon Warp is on YouTube, by the way. Go watch it. The craziest fucking Bigfoot movie ever made. I love it. I also do rant on the show every once in a while. It's fun. Then Monday on Coffee with Chaos, by the way, is the morning show title. Monday, I'm going to have Sean Whalen on from People Under the Stairs. Yeah, he'll be on for a little bit talking about his new film, which is going to be his directorial debut. So we'll have him popping in. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then we've got, obviously, Voyage over on Tony's channel. We're talking dog dick movies. Can't wait. By the way, Lennon Hawk, do you have the prize wheel ready to go to pick the next name?
I don't think I can share the screen because of me being cheap, but I do have it up. So.
All right, so we'll just have to take your word for it that you're honest as to who it lands on. That's fine. Yeah, we got Voyage. Then the next week, I've got. I've had to keep up. There's a lot going on. And I want to make sure I mention it because it's all gonna be fun. So next Sunday, Guilty Pleasures. Then Tuesday, actually before Voyage, it's episode 6 of All the Colors of the Dork, and we're talking Black Cat, Japanese horror movie, and I Like Bats, which is a Czechoslovakian vampire movie, and that'll be on my channel. And then of course, Dog Dicks over on Tony the Dead into March 1st. And then, of course, in the morning, that coffee with Chaos that Wednesday will be the big Vinegar Syndrome March unveiling. And that's
Mel is so excited to talk about Dog Dicks with you guys.
I can't wait.
I cannot. No, I've never been less excited about a fucking stream in my life. Now I wish I wouldn't have called in sick 2 times before because I want to be sick for this.
You can't.
From Jim Belushi to Hoosh, it's a straight line.
I would watch both of these movies again over
Traces of Pink.
Dog days.
Traces of Pink is for the Patreon series where it's all about vaginas. Anyway,
best vagina movies on Tubi. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, those are my plugs. Do you want to plug away and then spin the wheel?
Yep, well, I already spun the wheel, but I'll reveal who it is after my plugs.
Well, I think you can share a screen. Can somebody else? Because I've spun the wheel on my channel, and I don't pay for StreamYard either. But I think somebody had the wheel up and then shared their screen with me.
Oh, well,
if you want to do it that way.
I already spun it, so.
All right, well, we'll take your word for it. I could try to bring it up on my end and see if it comes up on... Hold on one second here. I'm going to try and share this with you. I think you're going to see it, Lennon Hawk, and then I think you just have to allow it. Do you see that down there?
It's going to pop. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, it worked. Okay.
Damn, I didn't know you could do that.
Look at that.
How do you share somebody else's screen?
Somebody else has to share their screen with you, I think.
So wait, so who's left? Because Professor's out. I've gone. Lennon Hawk's gone. So since Professor's out, I guess it's just those names. That's it, right? For now.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll them. Lennon Hawk, do you want to do your pitch first, and then I do this?
Oh, yeah, sure. You can read all my reviews, letterboxd.com/LennonHawk. My next video has nothing to do with movies. It's me tasting Earl Grey tea ice cream. And yeah, otherwise just read my movie reviews. And I'll see Cocaine Bear tomorrow as well. But yeah, go ahead, Spin.
I love it. Nothing says physical media like tasting Earl Grey ice cream.
That sounds interesting, though.
Last man standing, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Blake, you had won mine, so you lost this one.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I was one of the last two last time, too.
Let's see if fate's on your side, boob.
Nope. Boob.
Oh, no, boob.
Oh, man. What are Tony's picks?
Well, Tonebone, if you're still in the chat, let us know. And they better have some meats. That's all I'm saying.
We want some Arby's on this one, and not roast beef.
Arby's? Where are you going
That's
with that?
exactly
I'll take.
What the fuck?
I'll take some roast beef. Ain't no problem with it. We may have to get back to everybody. I don't know if Tony's still on. But,
he's still backstage, so but he might be looking for titles. Yeah.
Well, if Tony, give us a thumbs up if you can get on and just switch me out for him. If you can come in and say what it is. I'm undecided. Dude, you had like 2 months.
Maybe he's afraid his movies don't have boobs.
Of the cornucopia of titties, he just can't choose them all. He has to test them. Are they hangers on? We'll find out.
He's gonna decide on air. Great.
I had my two, damn it.
Wait your turn, boob.
Yeah, we got more Sedaris, more erotic thrillers,
My
Full
Killer
Moon.
MKT from now on.
MKT. Those who know.
Yeah. Those are in the club. No, yeah.
All right, switch him in. Go ahead.
Okay. See, I know what I want. I can't think of the title, and I'm on my phone and that, so I have to look on Tubi. But the one of them I know, and I'm pretty sure it's on there. That's why I saw it, was Bikini Car Wash Company.
Okay.
Is one of them. And the other one, hang on. Just talk amongst yourselves while I find it.
Yeah, 1992. I don't see it on Tubi right here.
Isn't it? What is it?
Is it on Tubi? On Letterboxd, it doesn't show Tubi.
I'll pull up Tubi.
The Bikini Car Wash Company?
Yeah.
I swear I thought I saw it on there. Well,
No, it's not anywhere.
damn it.
I heard of that one, yeah.
That's a comedy. We're not supposed to be picking comedies anyway. It's supposed to be steamy movies.
Yeah, that's a raunchy comedy.
Wait,
There's
All
the
American Bikini
boobs.
Car Wash? That's on there. All American Bikini Car Wash?
No, he's
No,
talking about
that's
Bikini
not
Car Wash Company.
15.
Oh.
Look at that. This is an older. It's supposed to be
See,
old. Mel's got
I was
titties.
ready. I was
Mel's
ready.
got teenage titties.
I was like all excited too. I was like, ooh, you guys are going to love this one.
All right. See, I know this one I want to put on there, but I don't.
There's Bikini Girls versus
Bring the damn
Dinosaurs.
boobs, Master Chaos says. I'm telling you, Mel's got more titties on the mind than any of us tonight.
Oh, okay. The other one I wanted to watch is Skyscraper with Anna Nicole Smith.
I thought you
Oh.
were
Yes.
I've seen
I
that.
thought he
All
was
right.
going to say The Rock.
I know. I was like, wait, what? There's boobies in that one?
But you will be rock hard watching Skyscraper with Anna Nicole Smith.
And Wet.
Ooh.
I actually want Skyscraper to get a VS release as a VSA.
You know what? I think I'll just do an Anna Nicole Smith stream. The other one I think is on there is To the Limit.
What is the other one? To the Limit or what? What did you decide? What?
Yeah, to the Limit.
That's on Tubi and Roku and Pluto. Yeah.
Okay, well then we'll do that. I was kind of like going to be those two or like two other ones. So
I'm good with these.
There's guaranteed to be boobies. Big
What is it?
boobies.
More dead boobs,
Oh my
but not in
God.
the movie. So
Guys,
it's only in real life.
I would call it dead boobies. I would call it rigor mortis tits. Rigor
Skyscraper.
mortis.
What? Blake, what was the other one?
To the Limit and Skyscraper. I've
Well,
seen Skyscraper
Skyscraper was
probably
gonna be Master
5+
Chaos.
times.
Skyscraper was on HBO all the time in the
All
late
the
80s.
time, yep.
I have it on VHS.
Yeah, it is Die Hard for busty Playboy models. Yeah.
Yeah. Or should I? Wow, I can't talk.
Yeah, change
I-
it. Change it.
For barbed wire.
Barbed Wire is a good one, but
I like Barbed Wire because it's basically what if Casablanca was a post-apocalyptic Civil War movie, and so I've always enjoyed
Yeah,
Barbed Wire on
change
that
it,
one.
change-
Should I? Do you just want to do that one instead of one of the other ones? Either way, you're getting nice titties.
Is Barbed Wire on
Blake
anything?
is
Let me
just
check.
like.
Barbed Wire's on Netflix,
Isn't
But-
it on Tubi?
probably.
Nope, just Netflix.
All right, we'll do Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah.
Well, not now.
I
But in
think,
the 90s,
I think it's just a misdemeanor now if you dig her up.
oh my god.
I have so many jokes to say right now, but
Finally
I do
crossed the line.
oh bullshit!
No,
It was only a
Corbin and MC crossed the line on their Valentine's stream. That shit was fucked up, man.
I know. I watched the replay.
What happened? What did Mel do?
I wasn't on that
No,
stream.
Tony and
Don't look at
MC.
me. It was
What
just
did we
Master
say?
Chaos and Tony
I
What
think
did I say?
being in all
Somebody
inappropriate
see
and whatnot.
The whole
We'll
last
talk about
hour
it.
of it was just, what the fuck?
I don't know what you are talking about it. Valentine's Day is about love and romance, and it's the same thing with the dog movies I picked out. You're just looking at the wrong stuff.
See, that's
You're all
fine.
about the Red Rocket,
That's
and not
part of these
about
movies.
the love.
Just lay your head on them. Take a nap.
speaking of having sex with corpses, I do believe Unearthed Films is coming out with a release of Dead Girl later this year, though. So heads up on that. Also, what's her
Leave it
name?
to Unearthed Films to do that. I just watched Gutterballs for the first time. What a fucked movie.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you to have watched that.
I actually like Dead Girl, so
Dead Girl is actually really good, yeah.
A movie.
And Kat Ellinger has a commentary on Red Rocket, which isn't about dog dick; it's about Dirt Nasty's dick. But
Master Cat.
Dead Girls
Gutterballs sucks. Gutterballs was just the first 10 minutes. I was like, what am I watching? This is too far.
Mel, that might have been drawing the line right there.
Even
I
for me to
mean,
say,
can we go back to talking about titties?
You know, a female dog has what, like 6 or 8 of them.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
at least we didn't have Howard the Duck, which has duck teeth in the first 5 minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my god, I loved those duck titties. Those are hilarious.
There's no fucking winning with her.
I think we'll
I
leave
have
it.
Howard the Duck over there. I love that movie.
I think we should probably leave the night at Duck Titties now that we're at a crisp hour 40 right now. So I'd
Probably
like
a
to
good
thank
idea.
the entire panel for coming on, and I apologize that my blind picks did not have enough boobs for this boob show, but at least the next one will make up for that with the very ample Anna Nicole Smith. Rest in peace. We love pieces of you. And I hope to see you all next time on that stream. So thank you, everybody, and take care. Happy Wednesday.